buying a home just to flip might not be a good idea. And in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on why I believe you shouldn't buy a home just to flip. Hey, what is going on? My name is Chia. I'm a real estate agent here in Sacramento and Elk Grove area. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing because I make videos like this every single week just to keep you guys entertained and educate you guys on the process of buying and selling real estate. So if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Go subscribe. Because there's so many people out there with different type of preferences, I wanted to at least share my thought on if you are planning on buying a home for the first time or so, or buying a home in general. Hopefully in this video I could at least share my thoughts on why it's not a good idea and why you should not flip a home.
Flipping houses is not for everyone. It's really not.
Flipping a house is not for everyone. I'll be honest with you, I come across so many investors that when they buy a home thinking that the end game is to flip it, they actually end up selling it for cheap back on the market or to other investors to finish the flip. One of the number one things that actually causes this mistake is they don't actually take into account the holding costs. How long are you gonna actually take for you to renovate the home? Because each day, each week, each month that goes by that you still own the property and have not sold it yet is holding costs that's going to eat into the profit margin of your flip.
If you're not prepared for that, if you don't have a cushion for that, you find yourself in deep trouble. So,
otherwise, you should not buy a home to flip.
you can run into a lot of different problems going into it. You could find termites. You could find a substantial amount of dry rot. You could find some serious issues, whether it's sewer, septic.
Some other costs that I see a lot of investors also don't take into account are big ticket item repairs. And when you don't consider these big ticket items into account, then most likely your profit margin is gonna disappear like that. If you don't want to take the time to do due diligence on the actual cost that's needed in order to flip the home, then you should not buy a home to flip. Another big mistake I see investors do and why I believe they should not flip in the first place is they actually leave money on the table.
We knew that the garage had been permitted so that the square footage was definitely livable.
This is a perfect example of forcing the appreciation up and then flipping it. Converting your garage is a great way because now you're opening up the living space, and now instead of your home competing with 2 bedrooms around the area, your home is actually competing with 3 bedrooms around the area, and that could change the appraised value of the home quickly. So this is a mistake I see a lot of investors do, is when they buy a home, they don't take into account all the possibilities of actually forcing the appreciation up on the property. Before you consider converting your garage into like a living space or so, make sure you check with your county first to make sure that you can get the necessary permits to do so.
I've been involved in multifamily units, like I said, since 2013. And so a lot of apartments, they need to be, when somebody moves out, they have to be remodeled or rehab. And so it's something that I'm very familiar with when it comes to doing a rehab on an apartment. So it just translated into a house, pretty much the same thing. As you look at it, this is what needs to be replaced. This is the things that need to be done to get it up to a place that's sellable, marketable.
What I would probably recommend for you is to maybe shadow around an investor that has been doing this for a long time and take notes. Ask a lot of questions on why they do certain things and why they buy certain things. The more you shadow somebody around, the more likely you're gonna know exactly what to do. That also builds hands-on experience with you so that when you're on your own, you could know exactly what you also need to do because you've already been trained by shadowing that investor around. So this is a pretty good tip.
And then the crew that I have, I've been running an 80 unit complex, in Sacramento for 5 years. And so I have a pretty well established crew that can come out and get the jobs done. It's been really good to be able to get the vision for what the house needs to look like and then assemble a team to help that vision come into play.
This is something that is pretty key, because if you're looking for trustworthy handymans or contractors to come out and help you on your flip, you gotta start taking notes and keeping those numbers down. Because when you come across any handyman or contractors that you like, just because maybe it's their personality or the way they handle their work.
And then the crew that I have, I've been running an 80 unit complex, in Sacramento for 5 years. And so I have a pretty well established crew.
So remember that anytime, whenever you come across anyone that is a specialist and you like what they've done, personally, keep their contact down, because you might need their service again when it comes to your flip. And that is it for this video. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, consider doing so, because I upload videos like this every single week just to keep you guys entertained and educated on the process of buying and selling real estate. So subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.